Nimo, you just got back from a one-day trip with Project 97. You had a team of 6, is that correct?
Yes, 5 of us managed to go. 1 of us didn't manage to come.
Okay, team of 5. Paint the picture. What's happening in this area? You were down south where Debbie works among the Maasai, is that correct?
Yes. Right now, this is the area that we do most of the ministry that we do with Debbie in the Maasai. It is an area where it's dry and the community is pastoralist. But right now in this season, we are experiencing a drought that has prolonged for a longer period, that when we expected the rains to come, they haven't come yet. So families have greatly been affected, and we are doing the much that we can with the little resources that we get to be able to do Project 97 to be able to sustain these families in this season. One of the highlights was that when we got there, it's very hot. So women are traveling now longer distances because even where they get water from the little rivers and banks and all that, they've dried up. So now they have to go for longer distances where they can get the boreholes to fetch water. So when we got to the church, yes, there were some mothers, because again, we have to remember that this community they deal mainly with polygamy. So some mothers were there and others had gone to fetch water and get firewood. And for the homes that the mothers were not present, the children were sent to pick the food on behalf of the families. So we also had a number of children.
They were sent to the churches. You did this out of a church, correct?
Yes, we did it out of the church. This church, they've been worshiping under a tree for the last 4 years, whether it's cold, whether it's raining and all that. So, but they have come together and built a church.
So they must have, I assume they sold some cows in order to build a church. Is that what they did?
Yes, and one of the members of the community is called Abraham. Apparently, he picked that name from the Bible because of the story of Abraham. So Abraham has donated 3 pieces of land to different churches so that they can have a place for worship. So for me, that was a big one, like going out for the larger community and for the work of God.
So how were there some people who hadn't eaten in a day or 2 days or 3 days or what?
Yeah. We actually had one woman, one family that when they came, the pastor had to send a motorbike to bring her so that she can be able to receive her food package. The pastors have been just trying to communicate with the people in the community to know the people who really have dire needs. And even with the little offerings they get on Sunday, they just are able to just take care of families, but it's not really enough. But they are trying to do as much as they can. And when we have Project 97, it helps them supplement for the packages that they get and food to sustain them for a longer period.
Okay, you're also trying to broaden to some degree the impact of 97, holistically ministering to the entire family. Talk about that. The men, they're out with the cows. Explain that to us.
Project 97 does not only take care of the hunger and the thirst that they have as a family, but it also helps them. It also helps us to keep the family unit together. And we are looking at when they are together as a family, fathers are able to mentor their sons and daughters in a more that they have a male father figure in the home, because if they are gone for long looking for pasture for the cattle, it keeps them away and then values are lost in between. But we are trying to close this gap by empowering them, because they have pieces of land to know how they can plant hay and be ready for the season when it's drought season, because it comes because of the seasons and the weather. But when they have planted properly, when we get a little bit of rain, they are able to store the hay for the next season of drought. So in this way, we are able to keep the family unit together, and they are able to instill values in their children that all the work is not left to the mothers in their bringing the family.
Now, where King David has been working and ministering, their culture, the Maasai culture there, is at the age of, I believe it's 10 years of age, the kids get kicked out of the house. Is that what you're finding as well?
Here it's about 50. At least they are led to get into adolescent, and then they are married off, which is still rampant, and it's still something that we are trying to deal with and tell them that when you're 15 years old, you're still a child. This is still a child who needs love and care of family, and who still needs their mother and father for their growth.
And they're still, is this the church that you're at, the area, are they still practicing female circumcision?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And it's still a big one, because this one is a little bit deeper in the bush. There are still the myths that we are trying to demystify as we talk about end FGM. And it's one of the topic, even when we are doing Project 97, as a team, we are trying to build up and bring up that conversation, just to start it up and see where they are, so that by the time we come to do a training, we know what we are facing and how to go about it. Because we realized even with the training, it's not a one size fits all.
So Project 97 lays the ground for future FGM meetings, and they are open to it because you have been taking care of their physical needs.
Yes. We realize that when you have taken care of a physical need, they are more open to listen to you. So, and even when we are coming to preach the love, the restoration, and just telling them about eternal life and all the gifts that God has for us and the rewards that we have to build up for God's glory, we have to start from somewhere. Just like in the Bible, Jesus says, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. So Project 97 is helping us lay that ground, even as we do everything else that we need to build up for the kingdom of God.
Yeah. Now, the church that you are at, you said there was a specific need for that church. What was it?
Yeah, we realized that they did not have a washroom. So if they needed to go somewhere to relieve themselves, they had to go to the bush. And one of the things, even as we are dealing with NFGM, is water and sanitization. We have to show them and talk to them about the health risks of going to the bush. Even if it's something that they are used to, we need to correct that error. So I am putting it out there, if we could get the support to help them get a latrine, which will cost about $1,000, it will be a great need that will also have helped them in one way.
Okay, good. Anything else you want to cover? Anything else you want to highlight?
What I wanted to highlight is that even as we do Project 97, the Maasai community, more often than not, they have sent the women to the church. We get more women coming to the church. But even as we, from different villages and the pastors that we have been meeting, we are finding that the men are becoming, the numbers are growing for the men who are attending church. So this is a good opportunity for us to do ministry and also minister to the men, which is when we look at the society, being that it is a patriarchal society, when we get the leadership of the community, then there is going to be change, impact, and transformation that trickles down from the top down to the community in itself. And in that way, we are able to build a stronger community with godly values. And we are able to just have a cohesion of unity, that they are able, even when we tell them of, like, when we bring lessons on empowerment and life skills, they are able to embrace them in an open way. So that one for me was also a great thing, having the men come to church, even if it was just a Project 97.